Hello, family. Hello, friends. How are we doing today? I hope that we are all doing as cozy and peacefully as our friend Artie here is. If you haven't seen Artie in any of my videos before, this is him. He's my little magical friend here. He thinks he's a dog. He follows me around like a shadow. He really follows anyone around like a shadow. He's incredibly loving and cuddly and trusting, and he's just the sweetest, floppiest rag doll of a cat. One of the most laid-back cats I've ever had. And I've had cats my entire life since I was a little girl, so ruggedy boogity booga. So as I was sitting here for a moment, relaxing, letting go of my own thoughts, making some space for, well, I like to think spirit fills that space, but maybe it's just my own unconscious. As a reader, and I suppose that makes me somewhat influential, on people's spiritual ideas or spiritual beliefs. But the strength of that influence is debatable. I'm not concerned about it, but I do realize that we all influence one another in everything that we say and do. And at any rate, in terms of influencing people's spiritual beliefs and ideas, I like to keep it real open and grounded in the sense that I like to think spirit is filling the empty space when I clear my mind. But I also allow room for doubt that maybe I'm tapping into the collective unconscious, actually. Maybe it's just my own subconscious. Who knows? To me, it's practicing spirituality with an acceptance that it might all just be like make-believe fills me with more awe and wonder about what's really going on here than it makes me feel silly or uncertain of myself. It actually makes me feel more certain. How do I put this? I feel like a lot of people, they really have trouble understanding that about me, about my spirituality, that they think, well, if you don't have like real strong faith, how would your magic work? But I don't think of it as doubt. I think of it as allowing room to conceptualize something subjective in many different ways. It's a dance, it's alive, it's engaged, it's a practice, it's not static. Practice is not static, it is always fluid, it is always moving, changing, evolving, adapting. And so apparently there's that message coming through at the top of this reading. And another thing that was filling my mind when I cleared my mind there was I was thinking about anger and resentment, and I was thinking, what is the difference between bitterness, where you're holding on to anger, and a passion to address injustice, which is also basically anger, that was inspired or ignited by some personal experience that sucked. What's the difference? Bitterness, that clinging, that holding on to the anger and hurt that resulted from an experience, and passion to fight against whatever bad thing happened so that it doesn't happen to anyone else again, or yourself, hopefully. I don't know the answer yet. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't know how to put it into words yet. It's still a little murky. And then there was another thing that came along with that has to do with, how do we know the difference between letting go of anger, like when we're relaxing, when we are resetting our nervous system, versus denial? Because, well, when I was younger, I used to think of repression of a unpleasant feeling. like repression of anger, for instance. I mean, you were real keyed up and trying real hard to like push it down, and like it would pop up and you wouldn't address it. You just push it down. And that release meant relaxing, noticing that anger, and then not holding it in my body. Like I would imagine just letting it flow out. And I still mostly think that. However, one of the most surprising things that I have learned over the years in my spiritual practice, in my healing journey, which are very tied together, is feeling better, feeling more pleasant, does not always mean, often doesn't mean, that the pattern has healed, that a pattern that led to hurt and pain before has actually changed. It just means you're no longer feeling hurt about the last time that pattern bit you in the butt. Or any of the times, you know. But that doesn't mean that same pattern won't bite you in the butt again, because maybe you're just blind to it. And I don't have all the answers regarding these things. I'm not here to tie this quandary up in a neat, tidy bow, at least not today, not in this one reading. It's an unfolding thing. My awareness of this truth is still in the process of blossoming. And I think that that's a fine place to be. It's a way of acknowledging no matter how many truths I learn or I realize or I create, there is always more. There's always more depth to reach. There is always more richness to create. There is always, and it's a get to, not a you have to. It's not an obligation. It's an even opportunity kind of holds the wrong connotation, because I think that word has corporate baggage, basically, like capitalist baggage on it, the word opportunity. Blessing. It's a gift. It's kind of like a chance, if that makes sense. I had to pause the video for a moment there and get up and feed Mr. Artie, because he was climbing into, or trying to climb into the bag of cat food over there. And I was like, oh, it was very loud, for one thing, that crinkling bag. And for another thing, he's likely to either knock it over and make a big mess, or eat way too much if he gets into it. He's a very indulgent cat. His personality is, he's just here to love. It's funny. It really makes me think of, like in Ayurveda, how they have the different body types, the doshas. And I'm like, you can even see that in animal personality, you know, like a person who's very receptive. Like Artie has this very receptive, very cozy energy. He's also very self-indulgent, and I've noticed that those traits tend to accompany one another in people too. It's an energy thing, you know, how energy manifests in behavior or personality, the way a person says things or conceptualizes things. So at any rate, it'll be very interesting to see what all comes through here in this reading as I start pulling the cards. So let's get into it. I think I would like to, excuse me, a little froggy going ribbit in my throat there. It'll be interesting to see what out of those, those energies that were coming to me there at the opening of this reading and in that little meditation session, how it'll intersect with this reading. That'll be entered. Okay. I'm here and pull one tarot card first, and then pull some questions. So I'll do that. I will shuffle 4. Stability. It's the number that's coming to me. Okay, so what's our first card out? Strength reversed. Interesting. How does that possibly intersect with what I was already talking about? If you're not familiar with the meaning of the Strength card, can talk about being bold, being courageous. I can talk about self-discipline. It also largely talks about how your main source of competition is yourself. Like that's how we better ourselves. Interesting. That's better. So reflect on that for a moment while I pull these question cards out. We'll see. Let your own discernment and your own intuition bring things to you in the pauses, when I'm shuffling, when I'm pulling. I'm seeing a rooster in my mind. What does a rooster symbolize? There's a few here I want to pull, but I'm not going to pull all of them. I'm deciding which vibe is the strongest here for me. All right. Alrighty. There we go. Okay, what did we get? Oh, interesting. We're going to look at the future, how things will look in 1 year. We're going to look at something about your identity, the role you play, or the self you embody in the situation you're currently in. And how your ego or pride influences your ideas about success or failure. I think I just pulled that one in a reading I did publicly recently. So this is interesting that spirits circle back and explore this once again. I think we'll keep pulling from the Silhouettes Tarot. No, I should not shuffle them again. Oh, how I love this deck. I haven't been reading from it lately. I really want to get a second copy of it to carry around with myself as I'm out and about in the world, because it's such a good general purpose deck. I feel like that one might be sideways, we'll say. Energy feels like the reversal is not quite right. Or orientation, I should say. I don't know if it's reversed or not yet, but we shall see. So how things will look in 1 year. 5 of Wands reversed. Self-concept, the role you play in this situation you're currently in. 10 of Cups reversed. And how your ego or pride influence your ideas about success and failure. 3 of Wands, our only upright card. It looks like you are some kind of disruptor. Like you shake a community up. But why and how? I could see this relating to what I was talking about earlier. If something a group has done or something they believe in general, that they generally believe, has brought harm to you or those you love, that might ignite a passion in you. Interesting, frog in the throat again. It might ignite a passion in you. That's another thing that the strength cards can talk about, passion. The fact that it's reversed makes me think about, or it makes me wonder, are we talking about misplaced passions? Let me move these down. Is the shakeup, is it a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Right when I say that, if you're resonating with this reading and you're reflecting on a moment that could, of your own past, that you can relate to that, did it feel good or feel bad? So you shake up a community. It's interesting the year from now question fell to the left, because I would usually read that as a past position. So it makes me think about something from your past is going to affect very much where you will likely be a year from now. And it's not set in stone, you know, that's just something about the way your life, your path is unfolding at this moment is particularly impactful for where you'll be in a year from now. You might be untangling the aftermath of a conflict for a long time. One battle after another. I don't know if you've seen that movie. I haven't seen it yet, but that's what it made me think of. It could be, let's see. So you've got disruption in community or family. That energy is all on you. And it could manifest in a positive way in some places, or a way that feels pleasant, and in negative ways or ways that feel unpleasant in different areas of your life. Like perhaps that manifests positively in your family and changes some patterns, some relational habits between people that weren't functioning great. Perhaps in your social life, though, and people get upset with you because you challenged what they believe or what they do or say, and it changes your standing in that community. For whatever reason, the energy of disruption, I don't mean hostility, I don't mean bitterness, I don't mean dysfunction, I don't mean dysfunctional ways of behaving or feeling. I mean disruptive, specifically. And before I flipped it over, like I said, I was feeling like the reversal on this one would not be exactly reversed on our Ten of Cups here. So it's got more of a neutral energy between harmony and disharmony in communities, in families. And you can see it about yourself. Maybe there's a confusion about how to apply it for the greater good of all involved. Although I'm not really getting confusion. But in here, how... Okay, so this is about your self-concept. Your self-concept is like you see that you are disruptive. either that or you see you're carrying that energy. Like it might not be your personality per se, or even how you feel. Could be like one of those things where like it's in your energy because of things that keep happening rather than like how you feel or what you think. That'll make sense to the people it makes sense to. If that makes sense to you, you've seen that happen in your life where you're like, I know there's an energy on me because it keeps manifesting even though I don't feel it. I don't know, somebody might have a block around how they are conjuring an energy that's not either conjuring it or holding on to it. That's might not be serving their greatest good. But it might be helping serve other things' greatest good. That it's a great gestalt. That's a tough one. Sometimes, you're going to carry an energy around, perhaps of disruption, that particularly influences groups, families, communities. And sometimes that impacts you negatively or in an unpleasant way, but the disruption is serving the greater good in the long run. This is interesting. The Three of Wands, how your ego, your self-concept basically influences how you relate to success. And Three of Wands, when we're talking about success in particular, often means waiting for your ship to come in. I was like, what am I? There's something I'm missing about this Ten of Cups in this position. There's something I'm missing. I kept feeling like that. I kept thinking that. I'm like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And it just came to me. It's just that I think I'm talking to a collective of people who know that in any given group, community, etc., any grouping of people, whether we're talking about family or a neighborhood, whatever, every person in it is significant because we're all always, how do I put it? One person behaves a certain way, another person responds to that behavior, and then other people respond to that person's response, and so on and so forth. It's always input, output, cause and effect in relationships and how energies travel from one person to another. Like, I feel like I'm talking to a collective who already is keen to understand that. Even if you can't articulate it, like, you know it on an instinctual, like, unconscious level. Perhaps me putting it into words just now made you go, aha, now I know how to put that into words, but I already knew it. Like, that kind of thing. So I think I'm talking to a collective who's probably good at community, like navigating it and whatnot. I also want to be clear, that does not necessarily mean that you are a people person or that you particularly enjoy being highly social. It just means that you're good at it because you appreciate the dynamics, like the energetic activity, exchanges that go on between people in a group. You can see it, you can map it, you can feel it. And you know this about yourself, but let me get a little bit more on this before I say the conclusion I am coming up to, because, sometimes we hear things in our ear, like spirit talking to us, giving us inspiration, whatever you want to call it. And then sometimes things in a reading come from deduction, following a chain of reasoning by looking at the cards. And this is one of those moments where I'm not getting the inspiration. I'm not getting the hit. I'm not hearing a thing. I'm not seeing a vision. So I'm going to pull more cards to help me understand this Ten of Cups just a little bit more. Because I am having trouble understanding how you seeing yourself as someone who can navigate community or groups, kind of map them out, understand how they function. It's like you're a systems thinker, I bet. That's what it is. When it comes to people, you're a systems thinker. Which probably means you can handle disruption. You're a you're a disruptor and a systems thinker. You've had this energy of disruption on you. That doesn't mean you're necessarily causing fights. It could just mean people get into fights around you that you're not even involved in. You know, you might get called on to be the mediator. Sometimes you might get dragged into conflicts that don't belong to you. It looks like that energy keeps coming through even a year from now. Spirit's not saying it's set in stone. Spirit's saying, like, which I started out talking about patterns. I was talking about anger. I pulled the Five of Wands reversed. There's a pattern here that if it's not healed, it's going to keep manifesting in these disruptions in any community you're in. And we all need communities. We all need social networks for all kinds of reasons. Career, for emotional support, well, I don't know, maybe not all kinds of reasons, but a few very important ones. Well, how does this lead to you waiting for your ship to come in? That's the part I don't understand. That's why I feel like I need to pull more cards, because why do you, as a systems thinker who has just the energy of disruption following you around, why does that lead to you waiting for your ship to come in to succeed, rather than like, I'm going to go for a thing, I'm going to start it, I'm going to finish it? It's like I'm talking to a collective who doesn't believe they can finish, that they can like get to a goal. It's almost like you don't believe a marathon exists. You only believe a relay race exists. Like I'm going to run half this race and then carry the baton, then hand the baton off to another runner and they'll finish the race. And that's how I win, because we win. Maybe you want to take everyone with you all the time. Like if you, you're like, I'm not going to succeed on my own. Nothing ever happens in isolation. We're all interconnected. I have to take everyone with me. I got to disrupt status quo so that everyone starts to understand how important they are and starts contributing more. And then we can all get to the finish line together. Our ship will come in. Our ship will come in rather than my ship will come in. This is a fascinating read. I'm really enjoying this. I don't know who you are, collective, but yeah, I'm feeling like my readings are coming through for a collect lately. For a collective that like really wants to like go deep in their inner work. Understand the energy of their emotions. I would imagine too, some very creative people would be in this collective. With this, maybe not all, but it's just with systems thinker, particularly in understanding people, groups, families, communities. Those people can do all different kinds of things in life, but a lot of times I do see people that function that way being very musical or very artistic, very poetic, something like that. Because all of those things are a way of organizing feelings in a way that can be communicated to other people to express insights that other ways of communicating just don't get across. See, we need all these different forms of self-expression. Language is only one way, that we can share truth. Is there any more advice that you want to give, Spirit, or do you want to just shed a light on this insight for now, and then maybe we'll come back in another reading for some guidance later? Yeah, I think that might be the thing to do. Come back for some guidance later. It's a good feeling reading. I just feel like I'm talking to a collective who's like, I don't know how to put this, but even when you're doing bad, you're doing good. Or at least lately. Maybe that hasn't been true your whole life, but right now, even if you're doing bad, you're doing good. I don't know how to describe that, but it's like you can make use of it. I feel this depth, like this realness. I don't know how to put that. I like it. I like it. If you're resonating with this reading, collective, I like you. Super rad, because I got soul and I'm super bad. I got soul and I'm super bad. You just made me sing that, so that's cool. I love you. All right, I'm going to pull some final words here. It's not necessarily advice. They're just closing thoughts, food for thought. Sometimes they relate to the reading, and sometimes they just don't at all. But we'll see what comes out. Oops. I accidentally pulled two of them. Aw. Mistakes are human and people get hurt. Learn to ground and center so you can approach repair with grounded discernment rather than defensiveness and judgment. Aw, that is so true. We all make mistakes. That is life. Sometimes we even make really, really big ones. And we know we're making the mistake, but at the same time we kind of don't. We don't understand the magnitude of the impact, But we can all recover, we can all learn, we can all grow. Oh, I'm sorry if that was noisy when I bumped into the microphone there. All right, I'm going to pull maybe one more. Ooh, I love it. I can't believe how often I pull this one, considering just how many cards are in this deck. A little chime. The chimes act as like confirmation. I don't always say anything when they chime, but if you come back, if you turn into a subscriber, which I would really appreciate if you hit that like button and left a comment too. But if you come back as a subscriber, you'll probably see him come out a lot at the end of the readings. Archangel Metatron, the record keeper, all of human stories. You might call him the guardian of the Akashic records if you're interested in that type of symbolism for the history of our collective karma. There's lots of different ways to think about that. Conceptualize it. I myself am not a huge fan of the Akashic record symbolism, but I get what it's pointing to. I can feel the record, you could say. People have called it different things in different places at different times in human history. Oh, I love this one to close with. I love it. You are the light of the world. A town on a hill cannot be hidden, nor can you light a lamp and hide it under a bowl. Put it on a stand and share the light. Just as long as I'm in this world, I am the light of this world. Just as long as I'm in this world, oh, I am the light of this world. And if you don't know that song and you like that little ditty sounded, that is a song by a man named Jorma Kaukonen. I actually don't know if he wrote it. Perhaps I just know his rendition of it. It might be traditional somehow. And if you can't find it under that name, Jorma would be Jorma, I believe. Look for Hot Tuna. You can find that song on YouTube. It's either Light of the World or I Am the Light of the World. It won't be hard to find. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed that video. I never did introduce myself. This is Miranda. I said that stupidly. I am Miranda, and because I was trying to say I am Miranda, and this is the Divination station, where I tune into my brain radio to deliver you super cool stories from the ether. All right. Anyways, someday I'll have good video habits down, right? So have a good one. Thank you so much for tuning in.